All right, guys, this is lesson 7.4, perimeter and classifying quadrilaterals. Okay, we're going to learn how to name quadrilaterals today. You need paper, pencil, and calculator. You need your notes open to page 7 and 8, and your homework packet open to page 7. All right. Now, this is warm up. This is on paper. Number 1. Two sides of a triangle have lengths 10 inches and 6 inches. What are the possible lengths of the third side? Hint, your answer is going to be an inequality. Go. All right, we're going to use the triangle inequality theorem. So take your two sides that you're given, add them. 6 plus 10 is 16, and 10 minus 6 is 4. So our third side x, we don't know what that is, has to be greater than 4 and less than 16. Now remember, that means it is between 4 and 16. It cannot be 4 and it cannot be 16. Now, let's take a look at this. If the lengths of the sides have to be whole numbers, how does that change your answer? Right now, enter the numbers that it could be if it has to be whole numbers. And there's going to be a bunch of them. Go. All right, well, what you should have entered is this. X has to be between 4 and 16. And if it is whole numbers, what whole numbers are between 4 and 16? Well, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. Those are your possible answers. So if I asked you what the smallest whole number would be, you would say 5. The largest would be 15. Remember, it cannot be 4 or 16. All right. What is the measure of a central angle in a regular pentagon? Go. Well, pentagon has 5 sides. Okay. Take 360, divide it by 5, because the whole middle is 360 degrees. Divided by 5, you get 72 degrees each. Number 3, what is the measure of a central angle in a regular hexagon? Go. Well, a hexagon has 6 sides, so it's going to be 360 divided by 6, which is 60 degrees. Number 4, find the measure of a central angle in this polygon. The directions for number 4 are round your answer to the nearest tenth. Go. All right, first thing I need to do is count the number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we're going to do, that's a heptagon, 360 divided by 7. And when you punch that into your calculator, you get 51.428, and it keeps going on. We want to round to the nearest tenth, so our answer is going to be 51.4, because this 2 makes that 4 stay the same. Remember, 5 or above, you give it a shove. So this is 51.4. Try number 5. Go. All right, first thing we do is count the number of sides. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This has 8 sides. It is an octagon. So 360 divided by 8, you end up getting 45 degrees. All right, now you are on page 7 in your notes. Page 7 on your notes. Now, guys, today we are talking about the perimeter of a shape. The perimeter is the outside edge. So all sides added up. Look what this says. To find the perimeter, add up the lengths of all the sides. Okay, you add up the lengths. Perimeter is around the edge. Like if we were talking about a real life example of a perimeter would be a fence around your yard, okay? A fence around a yard. Or it could be a frame around a picture. Those are two examples of perimeter in real life. Now, how do we find the perimeter of this triangle? Okay, 6 inches, 7 inches, and 15 inches. Well, perimeter is 6 plus 7 plus 15. When you add those all together, you get 28 inches. All right, now, this is a weird looking shape. See these hash marks? This shows me that each one of these little sides is the same. This one is 6 centimeters, so this one is 6 centimeters. This one is 6 centimeters, and this one is 6 centimeters. In order to find the perimeter, the first thing you need to do is make sure every side has a measure on it. So they all do now. Our perimeter of this, what is this called? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is a hexagon, okay? So if I want to find the perimeter, I'm going to have 6 plus, I'm going to go right around, 10 plus 6 plus 6 plus 10 plus 6. Okay, we've got 4 6s, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 2 10s. When you add all of those together, you get 44 centimeters. Now, I want to point something out. You could have also done this way, okay? Perimeter is nothing more than adding up the sides. But since I have 4 6s, I could do perimeter equals 4 times 6 plus, and I have 2 10s, 2 times 10. That will also give you 44 centimeters. It's just a different way to look at it. Now, the other thing that I'm going to point out, perimeter always has a unit on it. If you're adding up inches, the label is inches. If you are adding up centimeters, the label is centimeters. Now, this problem is not in your notes. I want you to copy this down right now. Pause the video if you need to. Now, this problem is super important. Look, this side is 6 inches, this side is 8 inches, this side is 6 inches, and then this one is 1 foot. Guys, you cannot find perimeter if the units are not all the same. Well, we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. And if you do not know that, you need to refer to Gallon Man. Okay, remember I gave you that? It's also in your Google Classroom. Okay, I'll show you that right now. In your Google Classroom, if you go to important stuff, right here, Gallon Man, that's the conversion sheet. Open that up and print it. So if you did not know that there is 12 inches in 1 foot, you need to look on Gallon Man. So this is 12 inches. I'm going to cross that out because to find the perimeter, all of the units have to be the same. Pay attention to that because in your homework today, there are some problems where the units are not the same. You got to change them. So perimeter is going to be 6 plus 8 plus 6 plus 12. 12 inches. And when you add that together, you get 6 plus 6 is 12, plus 12 is 24, plus 8 is 32 inches would be our perimeter. Pay attention to the labels. All right, now, example 3, we've got a complex shape here. We need to do some figuring. We need to find the length of this side right here. Now, look, we don't know how long this side is, but we know that this side down here is 10, and this from here to here is 6. So does it make sense that this side is going to be 10 minus 6, which is 4? Because 4 plus 6 gives you 10, which is the whole length. Now we need to find this length. Well, look, this side is 9, and from here to here is 2. So 9 minus 2 gives us 7. How do we know that that's right? Look, from the top to the bottom, 2 plus 7 does give us 9. Now, how do we find the perimeter? Well, I'm going to start up here in the top, and I'm going to work my way all the way around. You got to go in an organized fashion or you'll end up missing a number. So our perimeter, add up all the sides, is 4 plus 7 plus 6 plus 2 plus 10 plus 9. And now I'm back to the beginning. When I add all of those together, I will get 38, and my label is centimeters. So if I was going to wrap a ribbon the whole way around the outside of this shape to decorate it, I would need 38 inches of ribbon. Okay, number 4. This problem is a little complicated. Make sure you are taking good notes. Okay, the length of a rectangle is 3 less than twice the width. The perimeter is 54 inches. Find the length and the width. Well, guys, the first thing I'm going to tell you, and you're going to hear me say this a million times in the next few weeks, draw a picture. Start by drawing a picture. Now, in a rectangle, the longer side is called the length, the shorter side is called the width. Now, let's go back to the beginning of the problem. The length of the rectangle is 3 less than twice the width. We don't know what the width is, so I'm going to call it W. Okay, width, W. So that side is W. That means this side is also W. Now, the length is 3 less than twice the width. Well, twice the width means 2 times W. 2 times W. 3 less is minus 3. Remember, 3 less, you're subtracting 3. So the length is 2W minus 3. So this side is also 2W minus 3. Now, it tells us, and I'm going to write this in the middle, that the perimeter is 54. Well, how do we find the perimeter? Now we got to write an equation. So our equation, we add up all the sides and they're going to equal 54. So 2W minus 3 plus 2W minus 3 plus W equals 54. On this left side, let's combine like terms. 2W plus 2W plus W plus W. Remember, this is 1W and 1W. 2 plus 2 is 4, 5, 6. So 6W minus 3 minus 3. Negative 3 minus 3 is minus 6 equals 54. Add 6 to both sides. We get 6W equals 60. Divide both sides by 6, and we get W is 10. Now, we're not done, okay? We now need to go back and find the length and the width. Well, our width is W. So I'm going to write the width is 10, and we're talking inches, 10 inches. The length is 2W minus 3. So 2 times 10 minus 3. Well, 2 times 10 is 20, minus 3 is 17, so 17 inches. So our width is 10 and our length is 17. Now, if we wanted to check that, let's draw that. 10, 10, 17, 17. If you add those all together, you do get 54. 10 plus 10 plus 17 plus 17 is 54. We know we're right. All right, this needs to be put on paper, okay? A rectangular picture frame has a length of 2 feet and a width of 1/2 foot. What is the perimeter? Well, what should you do first? Draw a picture, okay? It has a length of 2 feet. So the length is the longer side. That's 2 feet. So this is also 2 feet. Guys, label all the sides. And a width of 1/2 foot. So this is 1/2 foot and 1/2 foot. Well, how do I find the perimeter? Well, I add these all together. So the perimeter is 2 plus 2 plus 1/2 plus 1/2, and that will give you 5. And the label is feet. Okay, here we go. On paper, the perimeter of a rectangular yard is 42 feet. The length is 15 feet. How wide is the yard? Let's draw a rectangle. Always draw your picture, okay? The perimeter is 42, so I'm going to write here. P is 42. The length is 15. So this is 15, and this is 15. How wide is the yard? Well, we don't know. We're going to call it W. Now, guys, I want you to use W and L for length and width, but be cautioned. When you use L for length, make it a cursive L, because if you just write L like that, it looks like a 1, and that'll mess you up, okay? So I use a cursive L if I need to define a variable for the length. So now I have everything I need to write an equation. So let's add all of these up, and that equals 42. W plus 15 plus 15 equals 42. Left side, let's simplify. W plus W. 1W plus 1W is 2W. 15 plus 15 is 30 equals 42. Subtract 30 from both sides, and we get 2W is 12. Divide both sides by 2. We end up with W is 6, and what is the label going to be? 6 feet. So the width is 6 feet. All right, this is on page 8 in your notes. Turn to that now. Now, we are going to learn the names of quadrilaterals, okay? That means it has 4 sides. Let's start here. I'm going to show you some notation, okay? A trapezoid has 1 set of parallel sides. Let me show you the notation to show parallel sides. That has a little arrow on it. That has a little arrow on it. If you see notation like this, that shows that they are parallel, okay? So top and bottom, these are the 2 bases, are parallel. That is what a trapezoid looks like. 1 pair of parallel sides, okay? So it has 4 sides. It's a quadrilateral, but only 1 side pair is parallel. Okay, next we're going to talk about a parallelogram, okay? Both pairs of opposite sides are parallel and equal. Parallel and equal. Let me show you the notation. Top and bottom, parallel. Left and right, parallel. Okay, those are the notations for parallel. Equal, 1/2 and 1/2. That means those 2 sides are equal. These I would do, now I run out of room here. 2 hashes, 2 hashes. Those are equal. So top and bottom, parallel and equal. Left and right, parallel and equal. That is a parallelogram. Now, these shapes underneath this are also parallelograms, but they are special parallelograms. So a rhombus has 4 congruent sides. 4 congruent sides. So 1, 2, 3, 4. They all have 1/2, and opposite sides are parallel. Okay, I like to refer to a rhombus as a tilted square. Okay, a rhombus has 4 pairs of 4 sides that are all equal, and top and bottom and left and right are parallel. That is also a parallelogram. A rhombus is a parallelogram because opposite sides are parallel. Now, a rectangle has 4 right angles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And top and bottom, left and right are parallel. So a square, or I'm sorry, a parallelogram is a rectangle is a parallelogram with 4 right angles. Now, a square has 4 right angles and 4 equal sides. Bing, bang, bong, boom. A square is also a rectangle because the definition of a rectangle is 4 right angles. Does a square have 4 right angles? Absolutely. A square is also a rhombus because the definition of rhombus is 4 congruent sides. This has 4 congruent sides. A square is also a parallelogram. Definition of a parallelogram is opposite sides are parallel and equal, and that is true in a square. Okay? So those are quadrilaterals. I want you to draw this picture right now in this space on page 9. Or no, page 8. Sorry, page 8. In this space, draw this picture. Pause your video if you need to. All right, this is another quadrilateral. It is called a kite. A kite looks like a typical kite that you would think of flying, and these 2 sides are congruent to each other, and these 2 sides are congruent to each other. That is what a kite looks like. All right, guys, you are now going to go on to in your Google Classroom and show me page 7 and 8.